Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about the benefits of meditation and how it affects our body and mind physiologically. So today would be more of a science lesson rather than just discussing about meditation like its benefits in general. And I would scientifically explain you that why meditation should be done on a regular basis to actually get the benefits of those in a proper way. So please understand that a person who meditates regularly, they broadly get benefit in three major areas when with the help of meditations. Now the first area is the scientific area. That means there are some changes that occur in your body and specifically in your brain or mind. Second area where meditation can bring about a change is in your psychology. That means the way we think and how we perceive our environment or the information from our environment. यानी कि जो भी आप सोचते हैं या जो आपके आसपास घटित होता है उसकी इन्फॉर्मेशन को आप कैसे समझते हैं वो मेडिटेशन से इफ़ेक्ट होता है. और थर्ड एरिया जो है वो है स्पिरिचुअलिटी एंड ये इम्पैक्ट कॉज करती है स्पिरिचुअलिटी पे. So today's session we will understand that why meditation is important from a scientific point of view. That means it has been scientifically proven that there is that it will help the person's mind to perform far better than someone who doesn't perform regularly. So we are going to understand this deep science into this as to why or what happens when a person meditates on a regular basis, why the person's memory gets more sharper, why the person's focus gets more intense, and why a person have a more focused and more calm way of handling situations that come there in their way when they regularly meditate. So let's understand these things today. So I would suggest that you please watch this video if you don't understand in one go, because there are some scientific terms and medical terms being used in this today's session. So if you want to understand deeply as how meditation helps these things, then I would recommend that you just start listening to that 2 to 3 times at least to understand the whole thing completely. So first thing that you need to know about your mind is that when a person takes any kind of information from their outside environment or the world, it processes that information in the brain. Now how that information gets processed? Basically your brain has neurons that are the nerve cells, and there are billions of nerve cells in each and every part of your brain. So when these brain cells, they are responsible for decision making, for focus, for learning new things. And once these neurons, they are activated, or since they are present, they get categorized into various functions depending on where they are located in part of the brain. For example, like if they are located on your forehead or in the front part of the brain, or if they are located on the temporal or side part of the brain, or the back, that is the occipital region of the brain, or the top of the brain. So any part of the brain where your neural or nerve cells are located, these nerve cells, they perform different types of functions depending upon where they are located. So let us understand like how they function and what has meditation to do with their activity and their function. Now for understanding this, you need to understand like what is neuroplasticity. Now this is a very interesting term because first is that when you meditate, your neuroplasticity of the brain starts getting affected, which means that each of these nerve cells or the neurons, they have two parts, basically the nerve cell and then a long dendrite or the dendrils that are interconnected through synapses, and these together they form a complete network, right? So when you start meditating, these neural pathways, that means the interconnection between the different neurons or the nerve cells, that gets becoming stronger. If you compare or if you go scientifically, it has been proven that persons who are more active, they do meditations, or those who do any mind games, or they read newspapers or solve puzzles, it has been proven that these people, they have more active neural pathways or connections between their neurons. And this neural pathways, it keeps getting changed every year or every few months or every time you process some new information or something new. So this neuroplasticity simply means that some neural pathways of your mind, they are getting stronger, and new neural pathways getting formed, and they get connected to each other through different routes in our brain, which is ever changing. So if you take the brain on a specific day, and you check its neural connection, it would be in a certain way at that time of moment. And if you take the same part of the brain and check it, say within a year or so, then that neural connections would also have changed by then. So the brain's neural connections, they keep changing, and this changing process of the neurons and the neural pathways is known as neuroplasticity. So the ability to change and adapt to all the new information and creating these new neural connections is what is known as neuroplasticity. Now let's understand this with an example. So इसके लिए हम बहुत सिंपल सा एग्जाम्पल से समझते हैं. अगर आप किसी फॉरेस्ट में जाते हैं या आप किसी नई जगह पे जाते हैं, किसी नई स्ट्रीट पे और नए एटमॉस्फेयर में और नई जगह पे, आपने देखा होगा कि पहले आप अगर उस स्ट्रीट या उस फॉरेस्ट से नेविगेट करते हैं तो आपको डिफ़िकल्टी होती है रास्ता ढूंढने के लिए या एक जगह से दूसरी जगह पहुंचने के लिए. क्योंकि उस फॉरेस्ट के अंदर कोई पर्टिकुलर पाथ नहीं बना होता है जहाँ से आप उसको फॉलो करके जा सकें, राइट? बट व्हेन you have walked through that path in the first time, it would be difficult for you to navigate that way in that particular path or to create that new path. So that is exactly what happens in the brain also. जब आप एक बारी किसी चीज़ को समझते हैं, पढ़ते हैं, फर्स्ट टाइम पे आप उसे कम्प्लीटली याद नहीं रख पाते या कम्प्लीटली समझ नहीं पाते, बिकॉज दोज न्यूरल कनेक्शंस और नर्व ब्रेन सेल्स के जो कनेक्शंस है अभी बने नहीं हैं प्रॉपरली. बट जब आप उस फॉरेस्ट से सेकेंड टाइम जाते हैं तो उसी रास्ते पे एक नया पाथ बनना शुरू हो जाता है, एंड दैट पाथ इट गेट्स फॉर्म्ड एवरी टाइम यू वॉक थ्रू दैट फॉरेस्ट, लाइक थर्ड टाइम, फोर्थ टाइम एंड फिफ्थ टाइम, एंड इट बिकम्स मोर ईजियर फॉर यू in every subsequent visit. So how that happens, this is because now your brain or the brain cells, they have created that neural network for that particular path in the forest. And similarly, when that pathway has got created, now your brain knows that I have been through this thing before, and it starts automatically traveling through that same path with very ease and in very easier way. So similarly, the same thing happens in the brain as well. When something new comes to your brain, like some new information or some new process that enters your brain, your new neural pathway, it starts getting created, and gradually as you process that information more and more, it becomes more stronger. And as you keep repeating that thing, चाहे वो आपका इमोशन हो, चाहे वो आपका कोई लर्निंग प्रोसेस हो, चाहे कोई किसी भी तरह का थॉट प्रोसेस हो, Even what you are thinking, if you are thinking the same thing over and over again, or if you are having the same emotion, like some person have fear in their mind or anger in their mind, then that becomes a very strong neural pathway, and that initially and later on becomes the habit of that person. So if you are stressed, for example, and you are stressed about what I should wear in a party, and initially it would be not affecting you much, like in the first time you have to decide to wear something for a party, or you have to decide whether I should do this thing or not. Initially it won't be affecting you much, but if you are taking the stress in your mind about this thing, that what I should wear, that stress, every time you have to make the same decision, your stress gets embedded in your neural pathway, and a new neural pathway of that stress related to deciding for that stress gets activated. Now what happens is that automatically when the third, fourth or fifth time you have to make the same decision, you get stressed because of this, and you can understand how then these neural pathways they create. And this is exactly what neuroplasticity is. So that fear emotion or the stress emotion gets embedded in your neural pathway, and it creates that neuroplasticity, or it gets connected to that situation. So whenever you have the same situation, whether once, twice, thrice, or how many times, every time that emotion will get connected with that thought process, or with that stress of making a decision to wear what kind of dress to the party. So I hope it's clear now, like what neuroplasticity is. So now we will discuss like how meditation will improve this neuroplasticity, and what really happens for those who actually start doing meditation on a regular basis. So there are several negative thought connections in your mind, and a person will automatically start thinking negatively automatically if they have those negative neural pathways in their brain. And because of these neural pathways, the negative thought patterns gets created. And so every time any kind of negative situation comes in your life, you will automatically get anxious or stressful, or you will react in exactly the same way as you were when you first faced that situation. So a person who has a positive habits, or who think positively, now they have automatically positive thoughts, so their mind gets processed into positive neural pathways, and therefore they have more positive outlook towards the situation. And the person who starts meditating regularly, in these negative neural pathways, they automatically gets weaker, and positive pathway starts becoming stronger, and this happens. So when that happens, this person will become more peaceful and calm, and they will have more resilience to face any stressful situations, and become more and more powerful. So he doesn't have to consciously remind himself that I have to think positive thoughts or I have to think negative thoughts, because that automatically gets activated in your mind. Because whenever you perceive that situation, you will be able to, because of that positive thought pattern in your mind, whenever the situation comes where you might be feeling stressful, you will be able to face that situation in a more calm manner, because now those neural pathways, they are active and they have a positive thought pattern. So that is how the meditation simplifies and improves your quality of life, by activating those neuroplasticity and activating those positive thought patterns in your brain. And this is how it creates an impact in the neuroplasticity of your brain. So this was the first scientific benefit that you get if you do meditations regularly. Now let's move on to the second benefit, and that is related somehow to a more deeper level of meditations. So when a person does meditations regularly, their prefrontal cortex gets activated. Now, what is prefrontal cortex? So prefrontal cortex is basically the part of the brain in the forehead. That means the front part of the brain inside your forehead, like this part. This is basically the prefrontal cortex, and it is a small part of the brain, but it is responsible for making you more focused, to improve your decision making, and having emotional intelligence. So this frontal cortex is also known as the CEO of your mind. Now, because a person is able to focus properly, a person is able to make their decision properly, and the person who has the emotional intelligence can do any wonders in this world. So where are all the major functions of the brain occurs, and when a person is meditating regularly, this prefrontal cortex of the brain, it gets enlarged. Now this has also been proven scientifically, and it has been shown in the research that those persons who meditate regularly, their prefrontal cortex gets enlarged gradually, and their attention span also automatically increases. Their problem solving capacity increases, their patience also increases, and with this there comes a more emotional absolute intelligence. So the person will become more compassionate, more understanding towards the behavior of others, people, and understand as why people behave in a certain way, in a certain manner, or automatically from within. Plus they will have a more control on their impulse comes into mind or existence. So when this prefrontal cortex gets enlarged, it improves your impulse control. That means like कुछ लोगों को impulse रहता है binge eating का, or some person they have impulse to buy things even if they don't need those things or everything. So when this prefrontal cortex get enlarged, that impulse control increases, so that you don't buy things just for the heck of it, or you don't become impulsive or react to a situation immediately. So everything becomes more rational, and people automatically they become active with the meditations. So whenever there is some option in front of them, they don't just react to it, but they will first pause, they will think about it, and then they will respond very wisely about the situation, and it becomes an automatic part of their processing information. That is why it makes them more intelligent and wise over time. And if someone, for example, if we give an example, like अगर कोई आपको criticize करता है, तो आपने देखा होगा कि अगर कोई आपको बुरा बोलता है, you get angry immediately, या फ्रस्ट्रेट हो जाते हैं किसी इंसिडेंट को लेकर. उन सिचुएशंस में आपका जो स्ट्रॉन्ग प्रीफ्रंटल कॉर्टेक्स है, अगर आप मेडिटेट करते हैं रेगुलरली, देन वो जो रिएक्शन है आपका इमीडिएट टुवर्ड्स एनी सिचुएशन और इम्पल्स, दैट गेट्स रेगुलेटेड and you become more calm. You process that information very logically and very rationally in a very calm manner, to the extent that it actually makes you more intelligent and wise over time. So there was a study conducted in Harvard University in 2011, where it has been proved that if someone meditates for 8 weeks continuously, that gray matter in the prefrontal cortex gets increased. Now someone would ask, what is gray matter? So gray matter is simply the part of the neurons that are the cluster of the nerve cells lying within that part of your prefrontal part of your brain, and when you meditate, then new neural pathways in this gray matter gets formed, and when they form these neural pathways, they get increased in number, and that is how the size of your prefrontal cortex also increases, and it enhances all these qualities that I have just mentioned before. Now comes the third part of the benefits of doing meditation. Now, what the third benefit is that it shrinks your amygdala. Now, that is a part of a small almond or size part in the middle part of your brain, and that reduces the stress when you start doing meditation on a regular basis. This amygdala gets shrunken or shrunk in size, and it reduces any stress, anxiety, or any overreactions and all these kind of things. Now, so see what happens is that the amygdala is that part where your reaction in terms of flight and fright comes into existence. So if we look at the human brain, we are made in a way where we react to the danger in our environment either by a flight or fright response. Now what does that mean? That our mind will decide, जब कोई dangerous situation में हम अपने आप को पाते हैं तो हमारा mind decide करता है कि whether I should face this situation or fight this situation, या फिर हमारा mind ये decide करेगा कि this situation I cannot fight and I have to run away from it or flight from it. So that is the flight and fright response. And amygdala वो part of the brain है that is responsible for taking this decision whether to be frightful or whether to be flightful. That means whether to face the situation or whether to run away from it. So when your amygdala is enlarged, it generally will result in high stress levels and lot of fear, and you would be fearful of the situations, as it cannot, so you won't be able to fight those situations since you are fearful. Ideally, we all have courage within us to stand tall and face any negative situations or stressful challenges that we face every day. But when this amygdala is big, it doesn't allow our mind or doesn't allow us to actually do that. So it will make you more fearful and make you more anxious in the way that you won't be able to face that situation, and it makes you more emotionally reactive to that situation. But when you're meditating on a regular basis, then the size of this amygdala gets shrunken. It becomes very, very small in size. So the mechanism of the flight and the fright response that comes in, it is only valid only to that part of the situation where you actually need it, and not in all the situations. So something like I should be fearful of this and that, or I should stop happening this, or unnecessary fears that you have in your mind, they will automatically move away or fade away, and this will reduce your stress and anxiety levels and the unnecessary emotional reactions. So these things, they automatically fade away from the person's mind once they understand the benefit of meditation. And also it has been seen in one of the Harvard studies done in 2013 that a person who does 8 weeks of meditation can actually shrink that amygdala and and that in turn will reduce any stress or anxiety in the person's mind. Now let's come to the next part of the brain, the fourth benefit, and that is the hippocampus. Now hippocampus is that part of your brain which is responsible for boosting your memory, learning something new, and or having emotional resilience. That means you have the capacity you can adapt to the situations, and you can remember things more easily, or if you want to learn new things, then your hippocampus must be very, very strong. It must be very good or very good condition and in a healthy position. So a healthy hippocampus means that you have a stronger memory, you are able to learn new skills easily, you have more emotional stability, you are a fast learner. And a weaker hippocampus means that you have more tendency to be forgetful, or you have a tendency to face emotional struggles or difficulty in remembering those things. And all these things happen because a person's hippocampus has become weakened. Now, if a person meditates regularly, then what happens is that the size of this hippocampus volume starts getting increased. Again, since the size gets increased, it stimulates the new neural growths in that particular area, because of which there are a lot of new neural connections gets created inside your hippocampus, and so the person, they can retain information for more longer time, which means you have a more better memory. So also, even if you are physically 60, 70, 80 or 90 years old, your mind would still be very young because of that enlarged hippocampus, and your brain will be more younger, so you will be able to remember everything easily, since your emotional resilience will come into play, and it stimulates more neurons to grow. And so when overactivation reaction occurs in the part of the brain, it is automatically controlled, and the emotional resilience, it comes into the life of the person when this hippocampus gets activated. So person is able to learn everything easily. And it has also been proved in a study done in CLA in 2007 that meditation, it improves the memory and the learning capacities with this hippocampus, and that could have a very profound effect on a student's life. So in this point of view, meditating, if a student is meditating, then that person or student will be able to have more better memory and learning capabilities, and that in turn will improve their marks in the exams, or getting good marks in their studies. And that is another one of the benefits of doing meditations on a regular basis. Now comes the fifth part, and that is one which I will be discussing, is the default mode network, also known as the DMN of the brain. Now, what is this default mode network? So we know that different parts of our brain, they are interconnected through the neurons network, right? So when these connections or different parts of the brain, these are connected through these interconnections of neurons, even like in the front, the side, the back, or the upper part of your brain. So all these different parts of your brain, they are interconnected through these neural networks as well, in a bigger sense or larger sense. So these connections between the various parts also gets activated or increased when you do meditation on a regular basis. That means the person who is daydreaming or thinking about some past memories or thinking about something in the future, or in such timings that the DMNA part of the brain gets activated, then this part is responsible for just processing that information, having creative encounters, and having more self-reflection. That means that when this part of your brain is active, overactive, that means the person is having lot of daydreaming. They are thinking more about their memories, about their past memories, or they are thinking more about their future. And this is because their DMN is overactive. But when you meditate, then there is a balance, and the between this and these problems like overthinking, self-criticism, negative thoughts, and all these negative emotions that come in your mind, they automatically start to fade away once that balance in the DMN network is created through meditation. So when the person who starts meditating regularly, it balances the default mode network of your brain, and you become active in a more balanced way. Now we cannot deactivate this DMN, because it is, if that is completely deactivated, then what would happen is that you will not be able to have self-reflection, you will not be able to have some goals set up for your future. So its activation is important, but their overactivity is the problem. So when it becomes completely balanced, it automatically reduces that self-criticism in a person. It increases focus and mindfulness in the person, and that person automatically becomes less of an overthinker and more of a more focused person in their life. So there was a study that was conducted in 2015 in Yale University that proved that the lesser activity in this DMN was possible because of meditations, and that it stopped overthinking and self-criticism in those who actually did the meditations on a regular basis. So now we have seen and gone through the different parts of the brain, and we can summarize that neuroplasticity is responsible for building our new positive thought process, and meditation can actually build these positive pathways inside your brain while weakening the negative loops inside the mind. Secondly, it has been seen that meditation increases the size of the prefrontal frontal cortex, and thereby increases our focus, our discipline, our decision-making process, and it brings more emotional control in our lives, so we don't react to situations just like that. Thirdly, we have seen that the amygdala gets trained with meditation, and we can therefore stop getting stressed and anxious because of that, and thereby it lowers our anxiety and stress levels, and the flight response, it gets balanced and is activated only to that time where we actually need it and not in other situations, and thereby it balances our emotional response. Fourthly, we have observed how hippocampus expands with our meditations practice. It improves the memory, it improves our learning abilities and emotional resilience also. So, and lastly, that is the fifth part, is that the default mode network suppression, which means that the proper neural pathway that there is in our mind, it becomes more balanced and not gets overly activated. So we stop overthinking, the person stops self-criticism or self-doubt, and any negative loop thoughts they get comes to an end. So that's why it has been scientifically proven why meditation is an important part of anybody's life, and they should do meditation on a regular basis to actually get the benefits of this meditation. So that was all today for this session, and namaskar and have a great day everyone.